Hi everyone, Greg here. Now today I have got another viewer's recipe. This one comes all the way from Scotland, Berwick upon Tweed to be exact. Now Mr. Duffy, aka Toothpick, I'm not touching that nickname, sent me in this typical Scottish feast called a Scottish Stovie. Now Scottish Stovies have been around forever, even since when my ancestors were boat people coming across the seas to visit this great land. I could imagine my ancestors there in their kilts, rummaging through the thistle to try and find the potatoes to make this. I've never had a Stovie before, so I'm really excited to try this recipe to see what it turns out like. Anyway, Mr. Duffy, today's your lucky day. I'm gonna make your recipe, and at the end of it, I'm gonna rate it. Give it a big thumbs up, or a big thumbs down. Ah, can't wait to try it. Let's start cooking. Now today I'm making a sausage Stovie, so I've got some sausages here. But these are the only other ingredients you're going to need. Some potatoes, onions, some butter. Oh yeah, I love this stuff. Stock and some gravy and some extra stock as well. This sounds like real Scottish comfort food. Let's start cooking. So for starters, I need one onion, which I need to dice up into little bits. And we're going to start frying the onions in this saucepan. Make sure you've got a big enough saucepan to put all these ingredients in, because it is a one-pot meal. But of course, I'm not just going to fry the onions on their own. Oh, no. I'm using my favourite ingredient, butter. Oh yeah, I love this stuff. So I'll throw a couple of chunks in there, start that melting, along with the onions and the sausages, which I've just cut into smaller bits. We're going to fry all these up. Fry, my pretties. Fry. Now, my old mate Mr. Duffy likes using pork sausages for this recipe, but really you can use chicken or beef or any sort of other meat that you like. It doesn't even have to be a sausage. It can be like ground up or minced. So we just need to cook that until the onions are soft and the sausages are browned. And while that's happening, there's just one more thing I have to cut up. The potatoes. Mr. Duffy didn't tell me how many potatoes I need to use. So, I reckon that amount will probably do. Although I could be wrong. But let's find out. So I'm just going to cut these into smaller bits. He said quarter them. But I think I prefer my potatoes cut into smaller bits. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, let's check up on these snags. Yep. Oh, have a look at that. Oh, it smells so delicious. But I reckon it could smell even more delicious by adding a little bit of garlic. Oh yeah. So I'll throw a little bit of that in. I reckon it'll just boost the flavours up a whole lot more. And I'll mix that through. Okay, so once those sausages have browned and the onions have caramelised, it's time to add in 1 litre of beef stock and our diced up potatoes. Boy, I hope this saucepan's big enough. Only just. So let's crank up the heat and bring this to the boil. Now old Toothpick also reckons that I should add in 2 more stock cubes. Well, I don't have the stock cubes, so I'll just add in the equivalent in powder. Now I'm actually concerned about the level that this saucepan is at, so I'm going to transfer it into a bigger pot. What was I thinking, using such a small pot? Never mind. It's not hard to... Oh God! Transfer it. Boy, that's hot. There we go. Ah, yes, that's much better. So now we just need to bring this to the boil, and once it is boiling, just reduce the heat down to a simmer. And now Toothpick reckons you just got to leave that simmer for about 45 minutes or until the potatoes have sort of caramelised to the bottom of the pan. Oh boy, that sounds good. Now we didn't mention about leaving the lid on or taking the lid off, but I'll leave the lid off because I think some of that water does need to evaporate out for that caramelisation and those potatoes to sort of like thicken up a little bit. Anyway, we'll see how it goes, huh? Woo, this is exciting. Alrighty, well, the 45 minutes is up. Tell you what, it's looking good. Let's just see if these potatoes are cooked. Oh yeah, perfect. So to finish this recipe off, you just need to grab some beef gravy, and we'll sprinkle some of this in and mix it through. You want to turn this liquid into a nice thick gravy, so you might have to add quite a bit, depending on how liquidy the sauce was. Keep going, mate. Keep going with that gravy, mate. Now, I'm probably guessing that I probably didn't cook it long enough. There was probably still a little bit too much liquid in there, but hey, she'll be right. I guess if there's more liquid, that just means there's going to be more gravy. And there you have it. Your Scottish sausage Stovie is done. So I'll just season it with some pepper. But I won't add any salt just yet. I'll taste it first, because that stock and that gravy should be salty enough. Anyway, it looks awesome. I can't wait to try it. So let's tuck on in for the old Scottish sausage Stovie test. Oh yeah, I can't wait to see what this tastes like. Now, my old mate Toothpick did suggest that this is best served on bread and butter. Sounds good enough to me. So there you go. There's some sausage Stovie for you. I'm kind of guessing that it's probably not as thick as it probably should be. But anyway, I'm sure I'll still get the flavours out of it. So let's grab this bread, see if I can stick some sausage on it, along with some potatoes. Oh yeah. And let's give this a go. Oh man. The sauce on this is just so nice. It's got so much butter in there, which has made it really creamy. The potatoes, beautiful and soft, and they've soaked up all that butter in them. I mean, this gravy, it's so buttery. It definitely doesn't need any more salt, but I tell you what, it tastes so good. Get in my belly. But what will the Grego meter think about it? Well, let's find out. Oh yeah. Hang on a second. Where are you going, sunshine? You know, I thought that gravy was really good. You could at least acknowledge that. Hang on. Mate, I got to tell you, if you love your sausage and potato with some gravy, why not mix it all together and cook it all together? I mean, this is just a really good, honest, wholesome, working class feed, and it tastes really good. I can just drink this. Anyway, I'm going to sit here and finish the rest of this off like the good Scotsman that I am. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for my next recipe right here on Greg's Kitchen. Catch you then. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is Greg's Kitchen, where today I made an authentic Scottish sausage Stovie. I tell you what, it tastes so good, it'll make your kill fly off your wall.